Yo, there's a boy.
Kenyan youth leader and political activist Kasmuel penned a searing open letter to President William Ruto, a document that has quickly captured national attention for its raw emotion and unyielding demand of justice. The letter comes in the wake of months of unrest in Kenya, particularly following the controversial Financial Bill 2024 and the violent state response to protests that left at least 22 young demonstrators dead. Kasmuel, a prominent figure in the Gen Z-led anti-government protest, uses his platform to channel the frustration of a generation, calling for an end to state-sponsored violence and accountable for the lives lost. Kasmuel's letter is not for a mere critic but a deeply personal appeal. He begins by recalling a moment of connection with Ruto. "I once shook your hand. I received nothing for it. No contract, no favor. I do not want a job. I do not want money. I want justice." This opening sets the tone for a message that is neither transactional nor opportunistic, countering criticism from some quarters of Gen Z activists who have questioned Moscow's motives, accusing him of seeking personal gain or shifting political alliances. Instead, Moscow positions himself as a voice for the voiceless, demanding justice for the slain protest and an end to the heavy-handed tactics of the letter. The letter delves into the heart of 2024 protest, which erupted in response to the finance bill, a piece of legislation that many young Kenyans viewed as an oppressive tax burden on an already struggling population. The state's response, however, turned a policy dispute into a human rights crisis. Reports of excessive forces, including the deaths of at least 22 protesters, sparked outrage, with Moscow and other activists leading the charge against that they describe as state-sponsored violence. In his letter, Moscow employs vivid imaginary and metaphors, likening the government's action to Newton's law, suggesting that every action of suppression will be met with an equal and opposite reaction from the youth. President Ruto, this letter is a request but also a warning. If the Lord does not speak, we shall. Moscow writes, a line that has resonated widely across social media platforms like X, where users have shared snippets of the letter, amplifying its reach. The emotional weight of his words is palpable as they address the silencing of youth voices and the violent suppression of dissent, issues that have long plagued Kenya but have reached a boiling point in recent years. Moscow's letter is not just a call for justice, but a broader critique of governance, touching on system issues like youth unemployment, a chronic problem that have fueled much of the discontent among Gen Z. The timing of the letter is significant. Just months earlier, on February 27, 2025, Moscow was photographed with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, a meeting that sparked speculation about his political alignments. Yet, his open letter dispels any notion of partisan loyalty, fusing instead of the moral imperative of addressing the grievances of Kenyan's youth. Post on X reflect a mixed sentiment, while same praise.